To edit the contour smooth and label function, we're going to take off where we left off in the last video, and first thing we're going to look at is smoothing the contours. Now you'll notice on the panel here that there is a smooth contours tick box. At the moment, when I zoom in on the contours here, you'll see that they are just straight lines between each of the triangles. However, when I tick on the smooth contours and reprocess, what we will find is that the contours will become smooth. So around the corners, we will end up with smoothing occurring. Just to show you the difference, if I toggle on the contours and toggle on the edges as well, the red contour is the contour without smoothing, and the grey contour has the smoothing applied to it. So you can see the contour has been smoothed around the edges. With smooth contours selected, preserve string points become active. And if I tick this one on and process, with preserve string points ticked on, you will see that the contours have changed. The contours are actually being forced through the contour point here. So going back to just smooth contours, there we go. We now have our contours being smoothed around the corners. The Range tab allows you to limit your contours based on a minimum or maximum level. Just as an example, I'm going to type in here a minimum of 200 meters and process. So the minimum level for the contour is 200. So everything above that will be created. It's the same if I was to use the maximum. So if I take 200 out and bring them all back, but this time type in a maximum of 200, process, I only get contours up to that level. Another option may be that you want to create a flood level line. So I'm going to type in here that my flood level is at level 190. And when I process that, what we end up with is one string for that contour at 190. And zooming in here, you don't get any levels or anything like that. So I know for drainage designers that is a really good option. Another option that you may want to use is to actually colour the contours by a range. So if I tick on Colour by Range, I can select a range file. And there are files that you can download with the EXDS customization, and we have some options here. And I have a 1 meter contour interval option. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to process. To see what these colours represent, I'm going to use the folder option here and the open, and the range file will be opened. This range file goes from a level of 0, so from sea level, all the way up to level of 2240. So our contours here go from a level of about 150, so here's our 160 contour level through here with our purple. And then as we look at the colours, you can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and back to purple. So there's about 70 meters there that will show. The option that's available on here too is to colour your text labels the same as this colour range. So if I tick that and process, all my red labels have now gone to be the colour of the contours. I'm just going to untick colour range and process. Back to the Labels tab. There are some options here to look at for the labels. The first option is the text. You may wish to make your text a different colour to match your major contours here. So if I select the AA button, I can use the Edit option. You can see here I have red, so if I now select magenta, go Set and Finish and reprocess, I now get magenta labels. So for decimal places, you can add as many as you like and process. You can even have 0 decimal places. However, I'm going to go back to 1. The other options are the label methods. So we have used this one down the bottom, the line removal and centered facing uphill. There are 2 main options, red from below or facing uphill. Red from below and above the line means that the text will sit above the line, but it's also red from below so that you can read the text. I have the same option here above the line but facing uphill. And if I select this one and process, you'll see that it's now facing uphill. So you can see the heights are incrementing as it goes up the hill. So that's above the line. We can also say centered line, red from below, This does not remove the contour lines behind the text, but there is an option here for line removal and centered, read from below. And the line has been removed. There's the same option for the facing uphill. We can have centered line facing uphill with the contour line still in full, or based on the one that I used first, we have line removal and centered facing uphill. So you can see how easy it is to edit the contour, smooth and label function. So if you finish your panel here, the great thing about the function is that when I go back to Tin's contour, smooth and label, using the FX button, it remembers my function. So the contour of the survey tin, and everything has been remembered. So everything is still filled out as per the last time I processed the contours. Even better, if you use your recalc panel, which is opened on the start of 12D, you can actually come and look at your function here and open the contour survey tin function straight from the recalc panel. Again, already filled out. And lastly, with the recalc panel, if your tin has been updated and you just wish to update your contour strings, you can simply walk right on recalc, pick your function, and the function will be updated automatically without having to open the panel.